Hey guys, this is Sean Sandridge. So I am giving you a bonus video today. Wasn't going to do it. I was actually going to do some live tweeting, but I was still at work during Married to Medicine. So I decided this time, let me just do a review. So I got my notes, so let's get into it. So Jackie and Simone were talking briefly about the photo shoot, and Simone was tickled that Jackie kicked Heavenly and Lisa out, and they kind of want to know what is going on with Mariah, if she's being nice because she's genuinely trying to turn over a new leaf, or if there is an ulterior motive. We'll find that out later. Another thing is that they're wondering about the new alliance between Lisa and Mariah, and Simone thinks that that Lisa is in Mariah's pocket, kind of like how people thought about Quad and Mariah. So take a pause on that. Next we have Toya. Toya is having her 40th birthday approaching, and she wants to know from her husband what he has planned. And you know, he's just honest. He's just, you know, here it is. It's all about the money. And it's so funny because this is where she irks me. She irks me in a couple of places in this segment, but she first says, what are you planning? And that I would never not give you a over-the-top party. And he's like, we've got serious issues here. I'm too busy, too tired to be putting on a party. I don't want anything for my own party because we have bills to pay. And in one sense she says, well, I would never, you know, not give you a party. And then at the same breath she's like, well, didn't you save up for it? Like, Toya, how can he actually save up for a party when you're always spending the money? He's obviously doing all the work, and he's obviously working overtime, so he's not the one that's spending all the money. You are. And if you really wanted this party, why weren't you saving some money? Anyway, so in Toya fashion, she has a long face, pouting like she's really 4 and not 40, being told that she can't have a lavish party. Then we have Lisa and Jackie, and they were supposed to, Lisa and her husband, Dr. Darren, was supposed to meet up at Jackie's office for the results on the fertility thing. Now Jackie is still kind of upset about the photo shoot, but this is, you know, I got my doctor's cap on, my professional cap, and we're not going to be talking about this. She is here for a medical thing, and we're going to keep it classy, keep it professional. So comes to find out that, you know, Lisa's eggs are not powdered and Darren has super sperm. That was good to know. But in passive-aggressive fashion that Darren is always at, he did not show up for this very, very important appointment. So she is now still feeling stupid, and Darren did not want to go, as she says he's in one of his moods. And even though they made accommodations for Dr. Darren to be there, he was a no-show, and she is feeling some kind of way about it, as she should. So one thing that was, you know, it's like the elephant in the room. Like, Lisa, why are you trying to get pregnant? Lisa, why are you trying to get pregnant? Lisa, why are you trying to get pregnant with a man who is, you know, not forthcoming about his feelings? He says it to one group of people that he doesn't want to have a baby. He tells you he wants to have a baby. He tells the guys, I don't want to be old having a baby. Then he tells his wife, it's I'm afraid for your life kind of thing. He can't just flat out and say, we have a son and we have a daughter and we're good, and I don't want to have any more children. Like, he can't be honest about that. So he's doing his normal passive-aggressive thing. So they meet up later, and he was honest about not wanting to go, and she's like, here you go again, it's all about you, and you know this is important, so why didn't you show up? So she kind of makes him squirm for like all of 5 seconds, saying that he's got subpar sperm, but you know, his boys are strong, and I guess they're gonna go and keep this masquerade of having babies. So there you go on that. So sad news is that we all know that Dr. Simone's dad passed away, and this is the segment where we find out Simone gets a call from her uncle, and that they found a body in an abandoned house that because of the body being so badly decomposed, they aren't 100% sure, but it's very likely that it is her father because they found identification on his person. And you know, she is essentially, she's numb to the news. She wanted closure, she was hopeful, but being that her dad was an alcoholic, and you know, a lifestyle that, you know, maybe he was in binging, or you know, other underlying issues, you know, he just had not been heard. And unfortunately, he was found in a house that was not too far away from where they were looking. So, you know, that can only be a painful thing to know that I was so close to my dad. Maybe if I had gotten there, maybe we'd found him sooner, maybe he could have made it. And she does tell Quad and Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is moving into the new house. She gets the girlfriends over to help her unpack. And Simone first tells Quad that they think they found her dad, and she takes it really, really hard. And you know, Simone losing her dad, Quad lost her dad unexpectedly, excuse me, and Dr. Jackie lost her dad because of, you know, his Alzheimer's. And you know, when you lose a parent, no matter what the relationship is, it is a death unlike any other, and it is very painful. And you know, Simone did not have a very, you know, close relationship with her dad that she would have liked. She had a lot of boundaries with him due to his alcoholism. It was very clear that the boys, her sons, didn't know much about him. And you know, listen, I can't judge her for that, because you know, when you dealing with someone who has an you know, addiction, a lot of times you have to save yourself, you have to preserve yourself and your boundaries, and you have to sometimes love from afar. And you know, at the time, she did what she thought she had to do, you know, to protect herself and protect her family. She didn't want her boys seeing that element. And but still, a death of a parent is still painful. Quad is still it unopened a wound for her. She probably needs to get some counseling, some grief counseling, because that's not something that she has really fully dealt with. And it seemed as though Quad was taken a lot harder than Simone, but obviously Simone's in shock. And you know, when you go through your year of firsts not being with your parent, and she said something that I can experience. I know that I experienced it myself. You know, it may not hit her until something triggers an emotion that just brings you to your knees. And it may be a milestone with your children, it may be something with your spouse, it might, you know, it might be that time where it's Father's Day, or you know, there'll be something where you just like, I want to go pick up the phone, and then you realize I can't pick up the phone. You know, sometimes your breakdown comes through the most mundane, ordinary thing. It could have been a song, it could be anything, and it'll trigger you having this emotional breakdown. So, you know, you know, my condolences to Simone and her family. A loss of a parent is very, very hard. And, you know, I hope, you know, she's got Cecil and she's got her boys, so she's got a good support system. But, you know, she's in for a long haul, because it's really difficult when you lose a parent, no matter what the relationship is. So that's on that. What else is there? Okay, so here's some other stuff. So, okay, so Toya wants this 40th Throwback Prom 40th party. Okay, you know, I guess the theme is okay. You know, I never understood, I don't know. Anyway, I would have thought of something else better than a throwback prom, but that's fine. So what ends up happening is because, you know, which was very smart, since they are in a way with the IRS and all this stuff, and they're really not in a financial way to have a party. Quad was going to spearhead the party and have the ladies contribute money and help set up, and it looked like a really nice party, really throwback. It was funny to see the prom pictures, and Lisa looked totally like Lisa and the Cult Jam. She was giving us, you know, light Apollonia teas, but I mean, I was just like Lisa and the Cult Jam. I was waiting for her to start singing I Wonder If I Take You Home, because that song was right in my head when I saw her prom picture. So, oh, and it was so funny because Heavenly was talking. Now Heavenly had her prom picture. It was cute for what it was. I mean, it was in the 80s, so, you know, fashion wasn't all that great in the 80s. But I thought it was funny that Dr. Heavenly couldn't remember her prom date, but she definitely remembered the prom date experience, that he didn't have any money, and while all the other kids were going to a fancy Tony Roma's, she was eating at a burger shack. I thought that was hilarious. Okay, so we find out that there is still tension between Mariah and Simone. Now, we saw that from the beginning when Simone was wondering, you know, what is Mariah's motives. So they start going back and forth. Meanwhile, here's where Toya irks me. Toya is again publicly not being nice to her husband, telling him he shouldn't drink something. It's a party, and that he shouldn't drink this particular drink because it's fattening. And then she summons him to go somewhere and get her a drink. She takes his drink. Then she makes a big deal about Dr. Aiden giving her a corsage, when like 10 minutes before she said he wasn't gonna go because he has to work. And so she gets a corsage. She's asking him where is the corsage he should get her. It was just a mess. It's like, you're 40 years old. I mean, this is like 12-year-old business. I don't know. She really irks me. And I'm sure she's a smart woman, but she just kind of irks me. Okay, so then here's another thing that irks me. So she uses her, oh, I thought it was funny. Did you catch it? Because if you watch Married to Medicine from the beginning, so you see that Carrie is in the limo with Toya and Mariah, and I thought, I guess time does heal all wounds, because here it is, they're in the same limo. Carrie's in the limo with the two people who ruined her party. Remember that? And she wanted them out, and Mariah was appalled that she got kicked out of a party. I've never been kicked out of a party. She got kicked out of the party, but now they're sipping champagne in the limo. So I guess they're all back in good graces. So so here we go at the end. So Mariah is still harboring feelings against Simone, because she feels that Simone took sides with Quad from last season, and that Simone really wasn't being her friend. And Simone was like, you know, how many times do I have to apologize? You know, this is why I felt this way and did what I did. Meanwhile, Quad has supersonic ears, because I don't know where she came from, but she obviously heard her name, and she was like, what is going on? So what it first started out was Mariah and Simone having a little fit, and then Quad was like, who's got my name in their mouth, and I am not here for it. So there's still some underlying stuff brewing, and Mariah's like, nobody's thinking about you, nobody's talking about you, nobody cares about you. Meanwhile, Toya busted them out. Toya said, listen, if I'm gonna be tacky, this is what it is. Quad, they were talking about you. Hello. So it was a mess. Again, another public thing, and another public event, and somebody's got to have their own personal agenda. Oh, speaking of that, Dr. Jackie was on call. So she knew that there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and she knew something was gonna go down. So she's gonna hear about it on the next episode. So that is all I have. So that's it. What'd you think? I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I thought it was an okay episode. You know, it wasn't too slow. It was really sad about, and you know what? The thing, you know, that exchange of Simone telling Quad about her dad, that was so real. You know, with all the messiness, and now I don't want to ever hear anybody lose their family member, but it's just, you know, if we're going to have a reality show, there has to be a little pinch of reality. It doesn't have to always be deep, but there should be something real going on. And this is what this is why this segment was enjoyable for the most part, because there were real feelings involved and real emotions, and you know, they weren't playing into the camera. I mean, there was a real life situation going on. So very, very sad. My heart goes out to the family, and I'm sure that this is not something that they want to see on TV. And you know, they're gonna bring it up. They're gonna bring it up at the reunion, but you know, that would be an episode that I would not be watching if I was Dr. Simone. So that's all I have. So I hope you enjoyed this review. You can find me on other social media platforms. You can check me out on Periscope. You can check me out on Instagram, and you can check me out on Twitter. Same name, keeping it simple. I hope you liked the review. Please put your comments down below. Share the video, and thank you so much for checking in. And I will talk to you soon.